Yeah, hello everyone. Is my voice audible, guys?
Yes,
Okay. So in last session, I think we have created sign-in component, and we have just created a basic sign-in component, and we are rendering that sign-in component on the screen. And if I go to our output, this is how it looks. So now this sign-in component, we have to convert like this. So in this way, we have to convert our sign-in component. Okay. So this is what we have to do. So to create this kind of UI, what we are going to do, see here. We will create one container like this. We will create one container. We will call it as a sign-in container. We will call it as a sign-in container. Now to this container, we will assign one background image. Guys, give me a minute. Yeah, guys, is my voice audible? Yeah, we will take one container like this. Now to this container is nothing but we are going to take one div element. Apart from that, nothing. We will take one div element, and to this div element, we will assign some property, like we will assign width as 100%. We will assign height also something like 100 VH. 100 VH means whatever visible area is there, it will occupy a complete screen. And then to this div, we will assign one background property. And to that background property, we will assign image. One background image we will assign. Okay, so let's see how we can do. So let's go to our sign-in component. Now this is the logic what we have written. So I will remove right now all this. So just we have taken one simple div. And to that we have a class name called sign-in container. Now this class we will select. We will go to CSS file. Here we will select that div using this class selector. And now to this div, we will assign width as 100%. Anyways, width will be 100%. Even if you don't assign, anyways, width will be 100%. plus height, I will add 100 VH. And here I will add one background color property just for temporary purpose. I will say black. And now if I go back here and if I see here, I got something like this. But what we want, this black color should occupy this entire screen. So let's remove this app component content from the screen. So let me go to the app.jsx and here let me remove this h1 from here. So inside our app component, right now we have sign in component. And that sign in component is having background color like this black. But if you observe here, there is some space we are getting from top, from left, from right, and even from the bottom also. If you observe here in the bottom also, we have. Now, can you guys tell me why we are getting this space? Because right now, this entire black color represents sign in component. And to the sign in component, we have assigned height as 100 VH. And width, we did not assign, but as I have said, width anyways, it will be 100%. Even if you assign width 100%, still you will have that space. So can you guys tell me why we have this extra space? Why we are getting this extra space from top, from left, from right, and even in the bottom?
Maybe it is picking padding.
Yeah, that padding, that not padding, that is because of margin. By default, your browser will add margin to your body element. So here we have HTML file, which is loading in your browser. This is the HTML file which is loading in the browser. So this body element will be assigned with margin by default by browser. So browser is going to assign some margin to this body element. So what we can do, we can go to the global CSS file, that is index.css. Here I can select my universal selector. Now what universal selector will do, it will select each and every element that is present in your HTML file. And to each and every element, by default, we are making margin 0. So whatever browser will add to any element, any kind of margin, that margin we are making 0. So the moment you make margin 0 by adding asterisk, you will see that this space will be removed. Now see, there is no space. Now instead of asterisk, instead of this universal selector, we can use body also. Even if I use body, I will get the same result. But here if you are using body, then margin 0 will be only for body. But I want to make each and every element margin 0 by default. So for that, we have to use here universal selector, that is asterisk. Now here, that part is removed. So our requirement is not to show background color. We want to show one background image. So to show that background image, what we are going to do, we will close this index.css file now. We will close this app.jsx as well. Now let's come to signin.css file. Now to this container, instead of background color property, I want to assign background image. So to assign background image, we can use background property. We can use background property or we can use background-image property also. And here we can assign one URL function of CSS, and in double quotes here we have to pass the image. So I have one URL. I will directly provide that URL to you. So I have one image URL. So we will use this image URL, or else if you want to use any other image, you can use it. So I will copy this URL. If I just paste in my browser, we will be able to access this image. So this image I want to keep as a background image. So what I'm going to do now, inside this double quotes, I will paste it. The moment I paste, if I go back here, you will see that I got that background image. But if you observe, this background image is from here to here only. The size is very small, so it is not able to occupy entire screen. That is the reason this background image is repeating. So we don't want to repeat like this background image. So if you don't want to repeat that background image, then you have one property called background repeat, and whose value we have to assign as no repeat. The moment you say no repeat, your background image will not repeat. See, now it is not repeating. But we want this background image should occupy entire screen. So for that, we can assign background size property. Width, we will say 100%. So this is the width for background image, and second value will be height. So width and height, I want to make 100%, 100%. So it will occupy entire screen now. Now what we have done, if you observe here, we have taken one div. To this div, we have assigned width, we have assigned height, and we have assigned background image. So here, if you see, we have assigned background image. Now, on the top of this image, I want some black color shadow. I want to add here some shadow on the top of this image. I want to add shadow effect on the top of this image. So here, if you see, you will have here shadow effect on the top of the image, so that background image will not be highlighted more. So if I don't add that shadow effect, if I directly display this particular form, then this form will not be highlighted more. Background image will be more highlighted. So I don't want to highlight background image. I want to highlight this form. So I want to add one black color shadow on the top of this background image. So that background image I want to cover with some shadow effect. Shadow effect is nothing but you can assign any color and you can make that color transparent. The moment you make that color transparent, your UI will look like a shadow effect. See, now here you understand what we have done. We have taken this div, and to this div, we have assigned one background image. Let's assume that you have assigned like this one background image. Now what I want to do, on the top of this background image, I want to add one color. On the top of this image, I want to add some color like this. On the top of the image, if I add some color like this, then your background image will not be visible. Your background image will not be visible. So if you add some color on the top of your image, then your background image will not be visible. How to add some color on the top of background image? For that, we can do one thing. Here, instead of using background image property, we can use here only background property. And to this background property, we can assign two functions. The first one is linear gradient. Using this function, we are going to add background color. Then you have to add comma and you have to add URL. Using this URL, we will add background image. So first, this function will execute. So when this function gets executed, one background image will be assigned to this element. After executing this function, then this function will execute. Whenever this function executes, on that background image, one color will come. So when we are placing a color on the top of image, then image will be hidden. Image we cannot see because image will go in the background. See here. Here I am adding that URL. And here I am adding some background color. So here I will add some values. I'm adding something like black green color. Now the moment I go back here, you will see that on the top of image, we got this color. So our image is the back of this color. So if you want to make your image visible at least little bit, then this color we have to make transparent. So instead of displaying dark color, we have to make this color little bit transparent. If you make this color little bit transparent, the back of this color, whatever content is there, that content will be visible. So how we can make this color transparent? For that, instead of using color names, we can go with RGBA color code. So I want my first color should be black, and that to transparent black. So here I will add something like 0.8. And second color, I want little bit greenish. So 0, 100, 0, 0.8. So R stands for red, G stands for green, B stands for blue, A stands for your alpha. Alpha is nothing but transparent effect it will provide. So if I go back here now you will see that on the top of this image, you got some black color, like you got some shadow, which is combination of black and green. So if I decrease this value, if I make this 0.4, and here also 0.4, it will be more transparent. So your background image will be more visible to us. So I don't want to make this much visible, little bit color, I want to make it dark. So I am just adding here 0.8, 0.8. So you can just do experiment. You can assign 0.7, 0.6. You can assign here some other value. You can check which looks better. So you can do the different experiments on these values. Now, if you don't want to display black, green, you want to display black, red, that is also okay. If you want to display red, green combination, that is also okay. That is completely your wish, which combination you want. So I want this combination, so I went with this part. So here I got this effect. So what we have done, if you see in JSX part, we have just taken one div, one simple div. And to that div, we are assigning this many CSS properties. Height, width, width anyways, it will be 100%. Even if you remove, there is no problem. See, there is no problem even if you remove the width. Why? Because by default, for your div, width will be 100% only. That's why even if you remove width, there will be no issues. So we have height, we have background. Why we have taken background? Because we want to add color and image combination. That's why we have taken only background property. If you take here background image, if I take here background image, still see there is, yeah. So even background image is working with this two functions. So better to go with background image now. So we can add here this linear gradient color and we can add image. So if you don't add this linear gradient, in that case, only image will display. If you add that linear gradient, then image and color will display. So first image will be displayed, then color will display. So I will show you when we create like this form, when we create this part, this white color part, form part, and if I remove that linear gradient, how it looks. I will show that. So right now we have added height, we have added background image, background repeat, we don't want to remit, background size. Here we can add one more property, background position. So right now it is displaying like this. If I say position center, let's check if we have any effect. So there is no effect even if you add background position. Yeah, so if there is no effect, no need to add. Now what we want, inside this div, we want to create one one sign in form. So to create one form, I will take here form element. Inside this form element, I will take one div. In that div, I will display here some title. So I'm saying here, I want to display some title, like I will go with H2 here. And title will be sign in. So inside the form, I am taking one div, I am displaying one title. Then I will take one more div. In that div, I will display this text box. So here, for this title, I have taken one first div. For second text box, for this text box, I will take second div. So this is for title. Now for second div for our email box. So here I will say input type, I will add here email. Placeholder, I will add here email ID. Or I will make it capital email ID. In the same way, I will copy one more for password. Type, I will add password. Placeholder also password. I will take one more div for placing one button. So type, I will add here button and placeholder not required. We can use value sign in. So if I go back here, it looks something like this. We got here sign in. We got two text boxes, one email box, one password box, and we got here sign in button. So without CSS, this is how your UI will look. But when you add CSS, entire appearance will change. So that much important the CSS is. So here instead of input type button, if you want, you can take button also. Directly we can use button element, and here we can add sign in. Type also I will add button, so that our page will not reload whenever we click on it. So still you will get the same. So there is no change whether you add button tag or you add input, both are valid. Now after this button, I will take one more div. Now inside this div, I want to display this UI. This do you have account and forgot password. This content I want to display. So to display this content, what I am going to do here, I will take one span and here also one more span. Here I will add forgot password. And here I am going to add, do you have account? And then sign up. That's it. So if you observe, first div is for title. Second div is for email box. Third div is for password. Fourth div is for log sign in button. And fifth div is for this do you have account sign up and forgot password. Right now without CSS, it looks like this. Now we want to add some styles. So what we will do, first we will select this form element. To this form element, I will add one class. I will say form. You can add whatever you want. I'm just adding form. And here I will select dot form. And to this form, I will assign some width first. I will assign some width like 400 pixel. And okay, let me just go with 300. Let me just see how it looks. I will assign 300 pixel. Height, I will say 400 pixel. And let me add background color here, white. So to this form element, I am assigning some width, some height, some background color. Let's see how it looks. It looks like this. Now this form element. I want exactly in the center here, exactly in the center of this container. I want exactly in the center. In the vertical direction also it should be in the center. In horizontal direction also it should be in the center. So now this form, for this form, this sign-in container is a parent. So what we can do, this sign-in container we can make as a display flex. And we can add here justify content center, align item center. In that case, form element will display exactly in the center here. So if you observe here, we have created in this way. So exactly in the center, we got it now. We can do one thing, guys, here. Width, we have taken 300, right? Let me make it 400. Height, let me decrease 300. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, now this is looking fine. So here we got this shape now. Now here these borders are there, right? These borders I want to make, whatever borders we have, right? These borders I want to make little bit curve. I want to curve those borders. So here I will add border radius, some 10 pixel I will add. If I add 10 pixel, you will see that, see, borders are curved. Those borders are curved. If you want to add more, you can add more also. Now to this form, I will add little bit padding also. Padding I will make 20 pixel. If I make 20 pixel, it looks like this is a little bit padding we got. And if you see, corners are curved, 10 pixel they are curved. Now we have added some style to this form element. Now what we have to do after adding the style to the form element, now we have to take the next element. So we will add some styles to this h2 element. So here I will say that dot form. In this form, whatever h2 is there, to that h2 I want to add some style. First I will increase the font size to 26 pixel. So I'm making it 22 pixel, but 26 pixel. Now, if you want to change this, you can change it. If you want to change, you can change. I'm just making it 26 pixel. So you can add different values and you can check. Now I have developed this form multiple times, so I'm able to remember the value what I used to give. But when I tried first time, I have used nearly 10 to 15 values and I have checked my output, which looks good, which looks good. So finally I found 26 pixel as a better for me. So here I got 22 of 26 pixel. And now here I will say text align center. And then I will change the color to dark green. So I wanted to make this application green effect. So I'm making it dark green. Font weight, I will make it bold. And let me add some bottom margin. So if you see here, there is no space between this title and this box. So I just want to add some space. So I'm adding bottom margin. I will add bottom margin. Or we can say margin bottom, right? Margin bottom. How much we can add margin bottom? So maybe we can try with 10 pixel first. Let's check how it looks. So we got less space, and if you see here, it looks a little bit more space. So let me make it 20. Now if I go back here, we got this much space. Now 20 looks fine. So I got 20. Now this part is done. Now next we will add some styles to this input element. So again, in the same pattern, we will select. First, we will select form. Inside that, whatever input element is there, because same styles we can add for both the input element. I will select this input element. Now what I will do for this input element, first I will make width 100%. Width, I will add 100%. When I add width 100%, you will see that both the text boxes width is 100%. After adding width 100%, now can we change some background color? So here I will add some background color. So if I add red, then red background color will be added to both the text boxes. So I don't want to add red. So I have here one value hash ef. So little bit white effect it will get. So I'm adding something. I will add here margin bottom, some space I want to generate. Margin bottom, some 20 pixel I will add. So I got something like this. Margin bottom, I have added 20 pixel, but this space looks little bit more. So maybe I can make it 15 pixel. I got like this. So when you are developing the applications, when you are don't try to be accurate with your values. So now I have developed this form multiple times. That's why I'm able to remember the values. But in real time, what you have to do, lot of experiment on your values, which looks good. Or sometimes your UI designer, there will be a UI designer, they will provide us all the details. They will provide us what should be the size of text box, how much margin we have to give, what should be the background color, what should be the text color. All the details will be given so that UI designers will use Figma tool. So there is a very famous tool called Figma. So my suggestion will be for you guys that whenever you get the time, just go to the YouTube and just search for Figma tutorials. This will be actually used by UI UX designer people. So as we are going to be a full stack developers, for us, this is not required. But yes, if you have knowledge on this Figma tool, then you will understand how people are designing it. So sometimes in companies, people will design the UI and they will directly give us that template. And based on that template, we have to write the code and we have to create it. So if you have little bit knowledge on Figma, then it will be easy for you to deal with those UI UX designer people. And this is related to our stack. So it will be advantage for you if you add this part to your skill. So just go to YouTube and just search for Figma tutorial. You will find a lot of videos for 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. You just watch at least 1 or 2 videos, at least have the basic idea of Figma. So like this, I will be giving you a lot of suggestions. So if you can take out the time and if you can learn all those things, it will be add-ons to your skills. So just keep an eye on this tool as well, guys. Figma. Okay. So like this, UI UX designers will create design and they will give you this design. So right now I have only taken this screenshot, but using Figma, you can design like this. You can assign all the colors. You can assign the values, what color, what value I have given to this. What are the different CSS properties I have used to get this kind of styles? What should be the value of each property? Like this, everything they will set. And they will give you this design. Now, when you keep your cursor, you will understand each and everything to design this particular UI, what styles we have to use, what values we have to use. So not all companies will follow, like MNCs or good companies will follow. Startups, you don't expect. Okay. Yeah. So now we are working on this input. We made input width 100%. Background color we have added. Margin 15 pixel we have added. Now our UI looks something like this. Now what we will do here, we are having some border, right? This border we will remove. So border, we will make it none. If I make border none, it looks like this. And if I select, I am getting this outline. That outline also I want to make none. So now if I select, see, I'm not getting any outline. So when I select, if I remove this outline, and if I load my page, now if you are not selected, you won't see anything. But when you select it, you are getting this outline. I don't want that outline also, even if I select my text box. So for that, I'm making outline 0. So when I'm writing these properties, you should know why I am writing these properties. After the class, you have to do experiments on all these values. You have to remove one property, check the output, how it looks. Suppose if I remove this border radius from my form, then you have to check how output looks. See, here we are not getting that curve shape. So then you will understand, acha, if I add border radius, I will get like this curve shape. If you want, you can add more values and you can experiment it. Add a 20 and check. It looks like this. Now 20 looks better. Then you stick with 20. If you think 10 was better, stick with 10 like that. Like this experiment you can do on each and every. I'm adding padding 20. You add more, you add less, check. And whatever feels good for you, you stick with that. Right now, there is no other person who is going to instruct us. So we can style our UI the way we want. But when you start working in the industry, now whatever people are recommending, we have to design in that way only. Whatever your manager or whatever your founder or whatever your business owner, product owner will say, exactly like that we have to design. If they say we want red color, we have to design red color only. Now you cannot suggest them green will look good or yellow will look good. If they are saying red, we have to make it red. So in real time, you cannot modify the way you want. As per your requirement, you have to do the things. So now let me add some padding to this input element. So I will add some padding. So 15 pixel from top bottom I will add, and 20 pixel from left right I will add. So it looks something like this. Now see, it is going outside our container now. The moment I add 15 pixel and 20 pixel here. So in this case, what we can do, we can decrease this part. Maybe I will add 11. Now 11 is also not looking good. Maybe I can add 7. Okay, so I'm doing one mistake. Here we can keep 15. Here, if I keep same 15, 15, how much it is looking like this? Maybe 11. I got like this. So what we can do here, I can make it 20 pixel. Padding we have added 10. Let me make it 10. Add 5 pixel. Okay, so let's do one thing. This width is there, right? Can we reduce this width little bit? Instead of 100, can I make it 80%? And then can I add margin 0 pixel auto and 15 pixel from bottom, so that we can remove this property. Margin 0 pixel auto. Border radius padding we have proper here. Okay. Font size. Okay, done. Input, background color, margin bottom. So what we can do here, guys, I just want to decrease this size. So what property we can add? Just guess here what we can do. Any guess? Anyone? What changes we can do here? Okay, so let's do one thing, or else let's increase this padding 20 pixel. Now we got something like this. Okay. And here, how much we are adding? From left, right, 5 pixel. Let me add 0 pixel. We got like this. Instead of 0, can I add 3 pixel? I will get something like this. We got here this email ID password. Maybe I will make it 0 from left, right. Yeah, now it is looking fine. So here I got sign in, here I got email, here I got password. Yeah, any changes you want me to do here? Just check these values.
Sir, per input div, we can change height and width no, sir, by giving class.
Or input.
Per input, there is div no, sir, outside. We can give any class name and we can change according to.
But why you want to change this div? So div anyways, it will be 100%, right? Inside that div, we want to decrease this part. If you want, you can decrease the width of this div.
Okay, sir.
That part will also work.
Mm.
You can decrease the width of the div and then it will adjust. Okay. Yeah. So let's come back here now. So we got like this. So if you add here, so we can do one thing here. To this input element, we can add one class. We can add something like input. Here also I will add same class input. Now if you want, you can select this input dot input and we can decrease the width. So I'm just making it 80% and margin 0 pixel from left, right, auto I will say. So it will decrease like this. Maybe I can make it 90%. It looks like this. Now if I go and add here padding to 20 pixel, it looks like this. But padding, it is adding only from left. 15 pixel, 20 pixel. Anywhere text align center we have added here. Form, width, height. Okay. So if I remove this, maybe if I keep just 2 pixel from left, right, then I will get like this. I got here email ID, I got here password. Now, if you want, you can increase little bit width here. Maybe if I make it 95, I got like this. So your wish, how you want to keep, you can keep it. Next, we have to design this button. So to design that button, same story we will apply. We will say form, we will add here button. Now to this button, we are going to assign some CSS properties. Now what CSS properties we can assign to this button? Let's see here. First, what we want our button background color. Background color should be dark green. So to this button, let's add background color dark green. Let's make width 100%. So here we have added width 100%. Text color, we will make it white. So if I go back here, I got like this. Now to this button, whatever border is there, we will remove that. Border, we will make none. Let's add padding to the button. Now we have to add some padding from left, right, and top, bottom. So let me add 13 pixel and let's check. So I got something like this. So we have added here to this button, background color, we have added color, border, padding. Can we add border radius? I can make 5 pixel. So if I am adding border radius 5 pixel here, it looks something like this. So we have added here background color, we have added color, we have added width, border radius also we have done. Yes, that's it. We got here almost like this. Maybe here we can add little bit margin top. 7 pixel if I add, it looks like this. So we have here sign in. This sign in font size we can increase. So how much font size we can apply to our content? Maybe I will add 16 pixel. And if I go back here, so little bit font size will increase. So we got here sign in, we got here 2 boxes, and we got here button.
But it contain more space than input box.
Which one?
Sign in button. That's
If you
green.
want, you can decrease that. You can I have added padding, right? You can remove that padding from left, right. If you remove that padding from left, right, 0 pixel if I make, that will be reduced. Maybe what we can, padding we have added, border,
uh,
we add outline also. Font size, 12 pixel if I add. Here we have 16 only, we will keep. Here we will go, we will add little bit, 5 pixel. Because there we have fixed it, right? Width. I'm adding 5 pixel, how it looks. Let me add here 20. Just going there. 5. Yeah, we got like this button. Let's see how we have here we have in the same line, or here we have in the same line. So if you go back here, width, padding from top bottom, we can reduce. And here text align center. Margin auto we can add. Let's try auto. Here we have this div, right? Here we can add text align center. And let me go back here. Anyways, auto is not required. Five zero in pixel. Maybe here I can 0 pixel padding. So padding we have added here, background color. Width if I remove, if I just make it comment, here we got like this. But padding is not applied. Here if I say, if I remove this, 13 pixel we got it. So maybe here I can add 30 pixel. It will add like this. But if you want 100%, then we have to make it like this. We will get. Yeah, right now we will stick with this. I will check if anything changes we have to do on the top, and then we will do that. So right now we got here this text box, and this button. Next, what we want, this part. This part we want on the left side up to here, and this part we want on the right side. So for that, we can do one thing. This is the div. To this div, I can add some class like forgot password. I can select this class. And here I can make this as a display flex and justify content space between. So when I make justify content space between, both this span will, first span will display on the left, next span will display on the right. So if I refresh, here we are getting the space, forgot password, right? Let me just save this. I did not save my CSS file, save it. If you save, now it is on the left, it is on the right. Now this is the forgot password, what we have added here. Directly we have added content. Instead of content, what I want, it should be like a link. So right now I'm adding href, and here I will add forgot password. Now this sign up also I want like a link. I will add anchor tag and I will add here sign up. Now to this anchor tags, we have to add some CSS. So in this forgot password, whatever anchor tag is there, so we want color should be green. Texture decoration, we want to make none. Font weight, we will make it bold. So do you have account? Sign up. Forgot password. Here, let me just remove this hyphen and let me make EF capital. So here we have added green color. Font weight we have added, text decoration we have added, font size. Can I try something like 18 pixel? Looks big. Maybe I can make it 15 pixel. Fine. So like this, I got it. So here we have sign in. We have two text boxes, one button. Do you have account? Forgot password. Now what we have to do? We have to work on this space. Here if you see, there is lot of space. And here in our output, we have little bit less space. So now we have to work on that part. So that part we will see in tomorrow's session. So in tomorrow's session, what we will do, because already it's 8:30, we will work on this part. Once this part is done, similar to sign in, we will develop our sign up form also. Now, if you see, the style for input element will be same. Title will be same, button color will be same. So this sign up form we can design little bit fast because we can use same CSS properties now. So once sign up form is done and once sign in form is done, then we will implement routing part. Routing part means if I click on sign in, I should be able to navigate to sign in. If I click here on sign up, I should be able to navigate to sign up. So sign in, sign up part, we have to switch. So for that, we have to know React routing. So before implementing that part, first I will explain you how we can implement routing in React application. Once I explain routing in React application concept, then that concept I will apply on this part so that we should be able to switch from sign in to sign up and from sign up to sign in. Now, once that part is also done, then we are going to implement the functionality of sign in and sign up. Now, to implement the functionality of sign in and sign up, we should have knowledge on backend part. So we will spend some sessions on backend. We will learn some part of backend which is required to implement this sign in and sign up. Once that part is done, we will develop the APIs for sign in and sign up. Then we will integrate our backend with our front end. Means sign in and sign up, complete functionality we will develop. So like this, step by step, we will go first UI part, then functionality part, then API part, then your database part. So module to module, we will move the things. So in tomorrow's session, we will design this part and routing part. So I think this part, routing part, will almost take entire session. Yeah, so that's all. So what I will do, guys, I will create one GitHub account here. Not GitHub account, I will create one GitHub repository. That repository, I will make it private. And you guys provide me your GitHub account information. I will add your GitHub details to that repository. So once I add, then you will be able to access that GitHub repository. If I make it public, everybody will be able to access. So I don't want it should be accessible to everyone. So I just want your GitHub usernames. In case if you don't have account on GitHub platform, then I just want you guys to create account on the GitHub platform. So creating account on GitHub platform is very similar to creating the account on LinkedIn, Gmail, Facebook. How we create accounts for Facebook, in the same way you can create accounts for GitHub. Just create the account. Even if you don't have any knowledge on GitHub, that is okay. Just I need your username. So for me, the username is Kabir Sagi. So like this, when you create account, you will also have username. I just need that usernames. So I required two informations from you guys. First, your GitHub username. I required your email ID and phone number. So this information I will take through one form. So today or by tomorrow, I will release one form in our WhatsApp group. You just fill that form. In that form, I will just ask your name, your GitHub username, email ID, phone number. You have to just submit it. So once I get these details, then I will be able to provide you recordings. I will be able to provide you notes. And this recordings and this node will be only accessible to you guys who are in our WhatsApp group. Other people cannot access. Okay. Yeah. So today's video, I will add in the YouTube. I will forward that link. But once you provide me your usernames and email IDs, then videos will be only visible to you guys. Yeah. So that's all, guys. Remaining things we will discuss in tomorrow's session.